Hello, hello. This session we're going to be looking at the storefront they've been working on. I think it was the last build and chill or workshop or one of the above. And also any questions from the chat. You're more than welcome to ask any questions and I can help you with that. Otherwise, I'll be working on getting assets made for the storefront for the most part. So we'll see. Let's get into it. Okay. Last session we were looking at basically creating pretty much like this. This is pretty good where it's at. We have our canvases, which I kind of want to do something with the front there. I'm kind of tempted to do a mannequin at some point, so I could look at that today. The other option is sort of flesh out all this, so when you look up there it looks like there's a mall of some sort. I do like the idea that this is all sort of white and all of this is full color. That's a pretty cool idea, so I might do that. The other option is we could probably possibly use a skybox of some sort, so it just depends on what we want to do with that. So we'll see. I kind of want the mannequins though, because I think that will add a lot to the space. So I kind of put mannequins here, and coming out of these walls, which would be pretty cool. So I might actually do that this session, which gets us into Blender a bit. So that might be kind of interesting. So let's do that. Once again, if anyone has any questions, of course, feel free to ask. But for until then, I'm just going to work on my own stuff. So jump in whenever you see fit. So we need see-through. I'm going to move this across here. Faces. Now I'm kind of tempted to get into, I haven't played with sculpting much in Blender, so maybe I could do that, actually. And for that, I think we need... Is it subdivision? Yes? No, don't think so. Multi-resolution. This one. Yeah, we'll start there. All right, I'm gonna have to pull up the graphic tablet for this one. Okay, I might have to. I think I might actually have to watch a tutorial before I sort of get into this, because I have like there's some things you can sort of add to this. So I actually want this to be under that, like so. Oh, it's not visible, not supported in sculpt mode. Huh, interesting. Okay. So if we go out of sculpt mode, and let's create like, okay, let's do it this way. We're going to create a basic shape, and then we're going to sculpt that. So let's have a look. turn that off because I want to go this way. And actually, I want that to go out. Now, just as a random example, I'm going to add a basic human. Actually, a cube. So that's 2 meters. So that human's about right. So let's use that as a guide. Alright. Put that at the waist. That at the pelvis. Now, I could do some really cool designs, and maybe I will think of that. But for now, we're just getting a very simple Yep. Alright, cool. That'll do for now. And of course, this is very simple. For now. Super simple. It's kind of the point, though. Add some arms. Now the other option, of course, is just buy an asset. On this asset store, there's tons of them. Let's do a quick hand there as well. What else we need? We need... Let's add that and that. Then we can do some circular elements there. And let's do this on this one. Hey, rock and roll, how's it going? I'm making a mannequin, but very, very quickly. I'm gonna test out sculpting and see what that can do for me. I have no idea. We will see. How's it? I think I saw your space the other day. Like you were, yours was the like you have a dome in the middle and you got all these objects. Is that you? There's a lot of spaces. It's hard to tell what everyone's doing. It's a thing of beauty. Marvelous. Yeah, it was cool. I was wondering, what's the question marks for? There's a bunch of question marks. I'm wondering what, like, are they meant to do anything? Are they meant, like, what's the go with them? That's my one question. So just websites. What do you mean, man? You do. But that's what I mean. If you get them curious, you have to give them something for that curiosity. And I'm wondering what your plans are with that. This is the worst character ever. But that's the thing. So the only thing the artifacts can do at this point is link somewhere. So in the future, we'll be able to hopefully add the functionality to either move them around or take them out. Or an owner can add objects that they want. But at the moment, artifacts only link to something. So those question marks can link to wherever the user wants, which is cool. But just making sure that that's what you want with that. If so, excellent. Right. Cool. Yeah, just making sure you know that you, like, if you want owners to put an object in, you don't have to put an object for them to swap out. No, nothing wrong. I'm just making sure it's what you want. If it's wrong, it wouldn't have passed QA. So there's that too. Right, right. Okay, so like they'll link somewhere, but you don't know where. So it's just like surprise hyperlinks. But yeah, cool spaces. Very colorful. Very interesting. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, no worries. Looking forward to the future spaces. May we all continue forever. Yeah, happy to help. Glad you're getting stuff from it. I think you're one of the most regular people in here, actually, so well done. I appreciate the attention. I don't know if that's the best word, but it'll do. Man, this is an awful start. I hope sculpting is better than my super fast. The problem with workshops is, like, you can't do a lot in 2 hours. Why? He's got a head way too big. I'm waiting for Richard to get me the thing, but he's not getting me the thing, so I blame him. It's all his fault. This is awful. I'm gonna make it good. Maybe. Fair enough. Okay. How do heads work again? It's a very, very thick neck. Cool. Why is that so weird? I don't understand why it's going weird. Let's get rid of that. Like, why? No! Ah! Ah! Okay. Blender crashes so rarely. I don't understand why. That's annoying. Oh well. Save more. Oh, hang on. Actually, that's a thing I can do. Wait there. Recover last session. Nope. Recover last session. Nope. Recover autosave. Ah. today. There we go. Get rid of that. How do I delete these now? There we go. Yeah, the thing is, Blender is funded by everybody now. Okay. Nope. That one. And then we put meta divide. There we go. Okay. Let's try something. I forget how to zoom, that's right. We need to figure out how to zoom with there we go. Okay, cool. I really need mirror mode though. How do I do that? I think that's one of these things. Huh. Symmetry. X. Nope. Y. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What are the buttons? There we go. That's kind of cool. No, I wanted like model a really simple mannequin, but the problem is I've hardly ever used like sculpting in Blender, so this is all very new to me, to be honest. Super general, non-binary, if you will. But yeah, to be honest, like I'm not doing very well. I can do a lot better in what do you call it? What's the other one that everyone uses? Zbrush. That's the one. Like, there's so many things though. Where's pinch? I saw that pinch there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing it in here. Yeah, I'm just not good at it. Like, it's just everything's so weird. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this another time. It's not something to watch. Bye bye, person. Okay, so what else can I work on? Actually, what we could do... Because I do need a t-shirt. And that's something I could do a little bit easier, probably. So let's maybe try that. And this is 2 meters. It doesn't need to be this big, so it's got to be sort of... Now, if you're doing a t-shirt, basically... Got that. Now, the other option of this is using like Marvelous Designer. I've never really played with that, but I've heard that's pretty good for clothes and whatnot. So that could be cool. Hey Lee, how's it going? Let's do... Well, what kind of... Yeah, how are we going to do that? Yeah, I won't be able to make it because I'm too cool doing this stuff. So, say hi to everyone for me. Now, I need some... Hey, Fractilians, how's it going? Everyone's jumping on board. T-shirt on hanger. In capitals for some reason, okay. So basically what we're trying to make is this. This one's better. I'm making a t-shirt. Oh yeah, hangers. T-shirts on hangers are really thin. This is not correct. Alright, there we go. now we have, I kind of feel like I should grab all of this and bevel it. Is that bevel? No, this one. Put a bit of a range in there. Cool. Which means that could probably go up a bit further. And a t-shirt actually goes more up. Learning a lot about t-shirts right now. Alright, let's add 2 more in there just to flesh that out a bit. Okay. Now, sort of have, well, let's do some cutting. So higher back, and then lower front. Now I'll probably be sculpting one side and then just either double texture it. Yeah, maybe I'll double texture it. Okay. Let's get some. I feel like that should probably be that. And that can go there. Then we can get rid of that one, which it does not like. Why not? Why don't you like that one? Fine, I'll keep it then. Okay. So that's a t-shirt. Let's take this into... really want to fix that. Problem fixed. Cool. Now, if I'm subdividing, we actually do kind of want everything to be a polygon. So this is a good example of that, where that's actually kind of important. So let's do that with the same sort of idea, I guess. Let's just extrude all of it. Put that there. What's this glitch? Nope, no glitch. Cool. Right. Maybe we could push that over a bit more. Maybe to there. Maybe widen this. That could work. grab all that. Scale X, Y, X, Y. 0. G, Y, 0. Now if we do a mirror on this one, that'll save us a bit of time on the Y. Cool. That seems a bit wide. Cool. Alrighty. So we have a t-shirt, I guess. Or the beginnings of one. Okay, and yeah, let's add another run in there. So we can sort of smooth that out a bit. And the magic comes next. This is all very basic stuff. I really want to learn sculpting in Blender because Maxon bought Zbrush and they haven't been very nice. So I'm all for that. I think that's good. What I'm worried about, like when sculpting in ZBrush without solids is a bit of an interesting one. So I'm actually going to close this object and then maybe and then we can sort of close it up later. So I'm going to grab these and these, and I'll probably do the bottom as well, and then do that on all of it. So that should be good to go. Okay. Now, apart from the basic polygons and stuff, it doesn't really matter. I feel like that should go up there. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do this then. No. No, that's right. That's right. That's right. Oops. Nope. Now we could do a hanger as well. Should we do a hanger? Yeah, we kind of need a hanger, to be honest. So let's add one. Yeah, now that is too long, so I'm going to add that. That way we can sort of get a nice flow for the sculpting. Not as important as I'm making it out, but it will save a couple of frustrations in ZBrush when, once again, you're subdividing triangles. It does not like triangles when subdividing, I'll say that much. So I'm sort of keeping them out of the object so far. And this will make more sense in a second. Now, notice here is a triangle, so that would... So you can show it here, actually. So if I subdivide... See how it gets a bit, like everything else is really neat, but here is not. So that is a prime example of what I'm trying to avoid. So to avoid that, I'm going to grab these. So I'm going to grab that, put it here. Dissolve the edges. And then we can just all the way down. And the problem there is it's not going to line up. And this is the wonders of trying to creep quads on an asset. It is not fun. It takes a long time, especially when you're retopologizing, because for if you're doing characters and stuff, retopology is actually very important, because especially on arm lengths and things like that. So it's not fun. It's one of those weird Zen situations. Yeah, NFT all the way. It's one of those weird Zen operations where, like, it's relaxing as long as you don't have a deadline. This is the best way to describe these situations. And if that's all squares, we can actually square this one up a bit. Yeah, so we have that issue there. But everything else is squares, which is what we want. So the problem is at the bottom, and that's fine because we don't really care about the bottom. So what we can do with the bottom is just cut that up. So we're going to put that on the edge and then go there. And that's fine. And then we have grids for everything else. T-shirt. Apply. Okay. So we have our base mesh object. I'm going to export this. I'm going to put this in my... Which one is this? This is in the wrong order. There we go. General store. This is an asset. I'm going to put... models. That's better. New folder, clothes, and let's call this T-shirt, base, selected objects, and apply transform. Export. Zbrush. Alrighty. No, thank you. We want to import our object. Sure. Space, edit. First thing you do, change the Comic Sans version of the T-shirt. All right. We need to subdivide this some. Oh, I've got shortcuts for this. Divide. Maybe 2. Cool. We also want to turn off back face. Where did I put that? So these 3 tools that I've added are custom. So I've actually made 3 new channels and put them all up in here. So super fast. I'm sure I had it somewhere though. Mass border? No, that's not it. back face mask. There we go. Okay. Let's try the tablet again. I actually know how to use Zbrush in this. Especially with these. Let's start with damn standard. Okay. Not divided enough by the looks of it. So let's go a little bit more. Then there's another one down. Now notice in this one I'm not using what do you call it? Mirror, because nothing is going to be good enough for that. The other thing to note, and this is going to be the tricky part, so I want this to be flat on, it should be okay. I guess we'll find out. So I want to be able to put an image or an asset on most of this t-shirt. So the t-shirt has to be like not warped. So I'm gonna have to do some interesting UV tricks, I think, with this. But for now, I think we can just sort of do that. Now, I found that like sometimes if you're doing general, you want to move things around a lot. You do that in a lower division. So all of the detail that you've added at the top sort of gets added to it correctly. So that's kind of really cool. Does anyone in the chat have ZBrush? Is this like remotely useful? The thing is, you could probably do a lot of this with Blender as well. So their sculpting tools are not as good as ZBrush, I will admit. But, you know, ZBrush has been here from the beginning because they sort of started this whole concept of sculpting. I don't think anyone else did it until these guys did. So it's kind of a big thing there. So you'll notice that, yeah, there are some things there, so maybe it's not. The other approach is I could actually do this, and then it won't do that. So. Now, what do we got? But yeah, sculpting is great. I'm a big fan. For character work, it's like the best thing. Like, I basically use this a lot for all like the character work that I've done. I guess it doesn't come up so often in environment work, so there's that. Okay. A little bit more there. Now, I don't want it to be flat, but I don't want it to be detailed. Yeah, that looks good. Now, how do I fix... There we go. Back to damn standard. Get the standard out again. Get some of these sort of like broader. Now the thing is, you can see the vertices, no, not the polygons on this asset very easily. But if I took this into Blender, you wouldn't. So I will probably divide this a little bit more. Ah, okay. There we go. Just to get that sort of vibe. And then, yeah. So there's a bit of a mix between like poly count and whatnot. When you're looking at poly count for this sort of thing, though, you're not caring about that. Because one, Blender can import assets really easily. But also you have decimate. So this has a really good decimate tool. It also has a really good remesher. So I could probably remesh this, and it would create some cool sort of much higher quality results. So yeah, there's a lot of options here. So I think for the sake of today, we also want to put like a seam there. Like possibly a seam of some sort. And the thing is also, actually, this is a very important thing, which I've completely avoided. The shirt has a quick point, because that's where so kind of cleaning up some of that. Now, all of this is basically for the normal map. So it doesn't really matter what the detail is. Well, no. This is all about the detail and nothing about the final, the final result. Okay. The next thing we need to do... Let's use pinch, which I don't have here. So I should... put that on somewhere. That one. comes back to the half thing. And like that's going to be a bit annoying because of how we've done this. Didn't think of that. But let's see what we can do around it. Let's try some inflate. A bit smaller along here, maybe. Just to get a bit of thickness in there so we can do some proper sculpting for the edge there. Like the seam. Is it a seam? Anyone know the words? I'm great with clothes. I'm very good at what I do. Now we can just flatten that out as well. We sort of have our much thicker piece there. So that's good. That's what we want. Next up, we want the seam, which is this one. Yep. Problem with that is that. So let's minus that and go like that. Now we want to keep that bit, so I'm just gonna hope. Yep, cool. Now we want that a little bit deeper, perhaps. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now there is a button that does things for me here. What is it? I think it's extract. Yeah. Maybe a bit thinner. Sure. And that is a new subtool, this one. Now, if I recall, no, that's not what I want. I don't think. But let's use, oh, this might be a good remesher. Half. Right. So Zbrush has a really good Z remesher. So say for example, if I had a high polygon asset in Revit or Rhino, you could 100% use this and do some really cool stuff with that. So that is an option. But the problem with that is I didn't do a thing. So I'm going to try that again. So let's... I think it is extract. I did that. Is it another button? I haven't used ZBrush. I haven't needed to use ZBrush in so long. Let's extract it. Let's accept it. Let's group masked. Let's no, not that one. Okay, let's see what happens when we do ZBrush now. So keep groups. Huh. Okay, better. Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, alright. Now, unfortunately, we actually need to kind of group that interior and then make that a loop in. So let's see. Can I do that? This is that problem. Nope. Nope. Let's get rid of that one. And then we can just get rid of the last two. Too easy. Maybe. Excellent. And then we can group that. Group visible. Okay. And that way, if we move that down, I'm hoping it will look cool. Is the technical term. No, that moved that all down, so I don't want that. Nope. No, I want +1. That one. Nope. There we go. Nah. I'll fix that in a sec. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep, problem solved. Alrighty. Now, let's divide this a little bit more. Then we can start doing some cool stuff. So... think this is actually better if I kept it low. And when you subdivide it, it looks much better. So I'll do that, I think. Up. Now this bit's going to be interesting. Not sure how to do that. If we turn that off, then we've got that. Now, once again, this is more about the normal map and less about the detail. So this is, well, the back's not great. I've got to admit. And I could improve that. But I think for the sake of this workshop, I'll be able to sort of take this into Blender and get a high quality bake from this, so you can sort of show what I'm going for eventually. So when I spend more time on the shirt, you can see what the result will be sort of earlier. But yeah, we'll give that a shot. Yeah, the problem with like a workshop while doing these is you start rushing and you don't think about the best ways to do things because you're trying to do things quickly. So maybe I got to get better at that. Anyway, I'm sure you get the idea. Now, the other approach I could do, which I didn't do, is basically grab that and no, we want the other way. And then inflate it. Now you can actually bit smaller maybe. Yeah. Flip that. Now I think it's one of these ones. Inflate 0.05, 0.1, 10. Once again, we want the normal map, so I'm gonna keep that. Might be a bit big, but we'll give it a shot. So that's the other approach, but this one isn't as neat, for example. So usually I'll sort of make a new object, and then you have more control. Another thing you can do is put the lazy mouse on, which just makes it smoother, kind of smoother. Like so. Like that. So yeah, kind of a t-shirt, basically. Now, once again, I'm going to be doing this a lot better, but this will do for today's session, where we can take this into Blender and make a low poly. So we can actually kind of use the original one. So let's export all of these with FBX visible. It shouldn't be that bad with the poly count, so let's just do that. T-shirt. Hi. And then we can add it. So there we go. Now I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on, nope, not that one, this one on, and put face, and then just press G, and it'll go to where the mesh is below it, which is super useful for this kind of thing. I'm gonna have to fiddle with them afterwards. Now these two I want very close, so I'm gonna put them by taking both and joining. I'm actually gonna move that further down to there. Now I have moved some of the asset around, so I can do the same with what's going here. If I want to see it, I can do that. So I can sort of see what has happened. I think that's a bat. Yeah. So I'm going to put these up the top a bit, just to keep that sort of flow a bit more. Now this time I'm not necessarily worried if it's mirrored or not. I could do it faster, but that's not actually important at this point. I just want to get stuff done. So let's I'm going to turn that off and then just go G to sort of get this shape. Now, when you're doing normal maps, not normal maps, when you're doing an asset, with this, the only thing you're really worried about is the silhouette. So in here, I might need to add a few more assets, although maybe not. If I make everything else okay. But yeah, we'll have to see about that one. Put this back on and then snap around. Now I've got the cut there, so I can actually move these down a bit, so I get that more of a smooth shot. I can of course add more if I wanted to, so depends on if that's something I want to do or not. So yeah, lots of things to consider with these sort of things, and over time you just get better at finding them out. So I might put a few more vertices in there, sort of thing, to so get that flow there. I say flow a lot. Yeah, it just comes up a lot with normal maps and whatnot. So once again, off. Bottom. Yeah, I feel I'll have to put another one in there. Which is fine. And then back on. So once again, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on a lot of these. So for now, I'll probably just wrap up just quickly here, and then we can get to some quick baking. Sure, that'll do. Let's just make sure. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is unwrap. So this, because it has a normal map, we basically need to create what would you call it? I'm going to hide the high. Where's the high? Yep, there we go. So because we're going to do a normal map, we need a, like, we can't tile like we can usually. We're going to use a custom kind of approach to materials. Let's just do that. And what I'm doing here is telling where I want the seam of my object. So if we look over there, it's on the back one. Okay. And then yeah, let's just keep it there. And then you go right mouse click, mark seam. And then we have that. And what that will allow us to do is when we select it all, we can go unwrap. And we have our t-shirt. Now, once again, I was talking about how I want this to be like a normal map that doesn't get, what do you call it, affected. So I'm actually going to do this so we get rid of some of the stretching. No, that's good. Let's see. And let's do the same with the bottom as well. So let's actually get rid of that one. Nope. That one to that one. Clear seam. And then we want that one. Now I'm using a lot of Alt and Shift to sort of get these. So I think Alt does a loop. Shift Alt adds a loop. So for these things, it's great. Now loops are really easy when everything's in quads. So that's another reason why you might want to try and keep quads on your low polygon assets, because making loops is super easy in comparison to things that are not loops. So if we do this, that'll be a lot better. Now the other thing we can do, and the other thing we need to do, is kind of create or use the block as much as possible. So those are less important. This is very important. So I'm going to sort of make these as big as possible. Maybe even do this. Yeah, might as well add those as well. So let's see how well we can get these fitting. Let's maybe do that a bit. There we go. That fits. A little bit more. And then we can just put this kind of anywhere. Like, we're probably not going to use these, but we'll put them in just in case. And might as well put them where they utilize the space a bit better. Just in case we want to put stuff in there. So we have our t-shirt. Okay. And it's unwrapped. Now we want to make sure that our normal map object is on shaded. I'm going to actually mesh normals set from faces. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, cool. I'm going to name these better. So this is t-shirt low. I'm going to hide that. What's that one? Why have I got two? Ah! Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the seam didn't work, so I won't worry about it today. Once again, just focusing on getting a bake. Okay. So we have our high, we have our low. Next up, we want to create, we have to go to cycles. And on our low, we need to add a material. So it's already got one. Let's name it something. And then we can go to shading, which has this. I'm going to insert a texture, image texture. That can go there. Doesn't have to connect it. We just want something to select. And we also want to t-shirt. I'm going to make it 2048, 2048. And then if we need to, we can reduce it later. Going down is easy. Going up is not. Okay, so that is selected. Next up, we go to this one. And because it's on cycles, let's go GPU compute because it'll be faster. Go bake. So we want to select the t-shirt high, and the last thing we want is t-shirt low. And I used right control to do that. We want a normal first, just so we can see it. Selected to selected to active. That's the approach that we're using. I'm going to extend a little bit, say 0.1 meter maybe. So that's fine. And that's it, I think. Now, because this is selected, we can go bake. And it should work. Now tell me if my audio is going weird because it's thinking too hard. Right. So we have our normal map, but as you can see, we have some issues. Very small. So usually this is a problem with this. So I'm going to try again. And that's cleaned up. So we have a shirt. Now, one thing I just did think about, this is kind of an important thing. Blah. What's going on? Ah, that's the high as well. Okay. Is the problem with this is if I want to create an asset, like I kind of want like this to be flat. Otherwise, this will be slightly more complicated than it needs to be. So I'm actually going to readjust this and see if I can get them at the same resolution, but at right angles, which it looks like I can. So that's good. And once again, just keep these as they are, because those are fine. Less important. Move that across a little bit to get that corner in there. Okay. So if I want to do an image or I want to make a thing, I can do that. So that should be good. And let's rebake. That's all setting again, so that's fine. So go bake. Well, let's go shading so we can see the result. All right, so I could put an image across here and that'll be all very neat. So that's excellent. So we can save this using the little dashboard here, dashboard item button thing that does the thing, image save as, whatever comes up here. Now this I might actually need to clean by hand in Photoshop. Some things are like if it's really close and niggly, so I could do that. So there's a few options with that. Now I'm going to put this in the actual store. So, not the store. Well, yeah, in the store, I guess. These are textures. So this is a t-shirt. Normal. Yeah, that works. What else can we do? Let's do... Let's see what happens when we do combined. Because I'd like to get like a normal map of some, like not a normal map, a diffuse map, so it adds a little bit of color on the object, and then we can put our designs on that. So we could do combined or diffuse. There's a few different options, but if you do diffuse, it doesn't include lighting. It's just diffuse. So we'll see how this looks. Yeah, so one side's good, the other side's not so good. Let's see what else we got. Ambient Occlusion. Yeah, let's try that. Last one. If this doesn't work, that's fine. No one tells me if my audio is good or not. Like, I know if I'm baking light maps in Unity, it does not like it. But if baking in Blender, is it okay? Can you hear me fine? Yeah. Yeah, it's not what we want. That's fine. Alright. We do need to export this, though. So let's go export FBX. Let's change this to, no, we want to go into store, models, t-shirt, look. Okay. Now let's make a new object called assets, put that in here, t-shirt low. Now this doesn't have, actually, I'm going to get rid of that because I want a new material, that one, t-shirt. I'm going to keep all my things together, so I'm going to do t-shirt, assets t-shirt. Let's just call it 01. Now the texture, just that one, put the normal map. Fix that. Smoothness is pretty low. Maybe a little bit. 0.02. And let's go to the t-shirt and add our material. So we have a t-shirt. And then we can drag this into our assets. Scale it down a little bit. So there we go. Now, if these were artifacts, so people could switch them out, we might want to make that as an artifact, which means we can't light map it. So there's that as well. But yeah, this is basically a t-shirt for our... Now I'm trying to figure out if it's like... Oh, what's happened there? Okay. Let's figure that out. So I can hide that one and figure out what happened here. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that's a quick example of how to create a t-shirt. Now, of course, the t-shirt will be better. I could put some creases in there. I could do like this, the thing I do not know the name of. So that would go there as well. So yeah, there's a lot of assets that, or elements of this whole approach that could be improved, but that is the whole process from start to finish on making a high poly t-shirt. I don't think that updated. So let's try again. Let's show that. Yep, nope, updated, that's fine. So there you go. The quick version. Yeah, let's make a quick I don't know, t-shirt. Now I'm going to use the normal map as a guide for the map I'm going to make. What are we general store? That's the one. So I'm going to open this one. There we go. Now, if I want to edit the thing, you can have a look and see how this is different from the rest of it. So I could, I'm hoping, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't when you do this. Let's use this. I'm going to do there. The other approach is blur. Where's that? This one. Smudge tool. So let's make it a bit smaller. So that one doesn't work for some reason. Let's try this. Nope. Yeah, I kind of forget why. But for now, let's do this. Or this one's even better. Let's see if this works. Stamp. Now this is on one color, and it kind of creates the ability. Now that's going to be a bit harder. That's where smudge would be really useful. But if you look at, there's still a couple of issues. So let's go to this one, and you see the issue again. So let's get rid of that. Now, it may not be, once again, I'm doing it very quickly. This layer is very rarely used. It doesn't actually have much information on this slide. So, there's that. But if you look at this, it's much better now. Now, this is the best way to do normals, because if you just do the 3 colors, it doesn't really work as well as it should. So this is the best way to get the right colors for a normal map. So that would be that. And then, of course, there's different ways to do this. So smudge is good if you can make it work on the things, but for some reason I can't. And I forget how. I think I've done it before, I just don't know how. Yeah. But there is, of course, this one. So if we, let's say, get this color, because it'd sort of do that, which is not bad. Then we can do this maybe. And then we can grab, where is it? This one. Sort of like, do that. Then we'll have to do the same with this. So let's grab this color. It's a bit heavy, but yeah. I'm sure you could see what we're trying to do. So you got that. And then we can just zip over all of this one. It's not an issue. It's a little better. So yeah, you can see the scope of what you could do with this. But for the purposes, that's not actually our goal. Our goal is to create, let's do a white t-shirt. And then I'm going to put my logo on it somewhere. So where is that? Logo. Logo 500. Cool. Now I'm hoping, not too sure, but oh no, that's the back. This is the front, so that's good. Let's do that. Cool. Export PNG. In the textures, t-shirt, fuse, save. We want this one. So on our t-shirt, we want normal. There we go. Perfect. Although that's why? I can fix that easily. Ah, yeah, you can see it there. So I'm going to try, actually, let's just do this. Yeah, that'll be better. Yeah. So we have our t-shirt. Now it's a bit dark, and the reason for that is I believe there's only like one directional light. Everything else is baked, and we have no what do you call them? No light probes. So let's put some quick light probes in, and that might help this problem. So that way we can sort of do a couple of things for our space, which is excellent. Yeah, I think because like the spotlights at the top, so I'm going to actually just put those up the top as well. That's good. And basically we're going to do everywhere. So let's take them all. Control D, D, and one more. There we go. Now I'm going to move all these middle ones to the middle, and then we're good to go. So D, there, D, maybe 3, D. Okay. Now the player is not going to get out there, so that's fine. That's exactly what we need. I have to bake again though, so my audio will definitely go messed up. But I'm hoping, because this is a dynamic object and we want it because it'll probably be an artifact, we can create this. So where's it at now? Just one. That's pretty good for one. Yeah, no, we'll keep it that. Generate lighting. Okay. So as you can see, the t-shirt is actually much brighter. That's because the baking information will go into the dynamic lights. So when we move it around, it'll be sort of taking into consideration the light map information in a way, which is excellent. That said, I don't want them. So I'm going to get rid of them. I always forget where they are though. Light probe. There we go. So you can turn them off if they are annoying. And as you can see, this is a white object, but the lights that we're baking are actually kind of a bit warm, which I do need to turn off because that's not how lights work in stores. So I'm going to apply that. And as that is a prefab, I only have to do it one time. And the next time I bake this, this would all be more white, for example, which is what we want. But yeah. So there we go. That is our t-shirt. I kind of want to do a quick challenge with the pattern. What's a cool pattern? So from the chat, what's a cool t-shirt pattern? Hawaiian shirt. That'd be cool. Let's do that one. Okay. This is gonna be great. So basically I'm gonna tile this. Hopefully it tiles. Yes, it does. Excellent. I'm gonna have the coolest Hawaiian shirt. Okay, cool. No, we'll leave that. That's good. Export. Let's do t-shirt 2, so we can have a selection. So that's one. Put this one over here, and we're gonna put that as 2, and then okay. No. That tiles well, actually, so that actually looks pretty good. Happy with that. The problem is the normal map isn't as obvious, but that's okay. But yeah. The first the Mad Empire t-shirt range. I'm actually working on one of these, actually, so one day this might actually be a real thing. But for now, basically, we have that. So this one here is actually what I'm working on. So at some point, I'm gonna like start making t-shirts because I think that'd be kind of cool. And have the base ball have like horns and halos and different animal ears and all that sort of stuff. So I have this whole Matte Empire range of Angry Dot, and I think that's probably what I'm going to call it. Is just the Angry Dot or dot rage. I kind of like that as well. But yeah, so we have a t-shirt. Now, of course, once again, the t-shirt high quality, like the high mesh. Yeah, I was thinking about that. So yeah, if you buy the NFT, you get the t-shirt, or if you get the t-shirt, you get the NFT. I don't know, one of the two. So, oh really? All right, you're the first customer I'll have then. I'll definitely hit you up when that's going to happen. So of course the high poly or the high quality t-shirt would have to be as good as possible. This is not as good as possible. I would spend a bit more time on it. making sure I get it right. This bottom bit worked okay. So once again, normal maps are a little different from what you see. So if you can think in normal map rather than think in high poly, sometimes you can get the result you want faster, depending on the situation, of course. So I'm probably going to have another look at this, start from scratch, or at least expand on this one, improve the edge and all that sort of stuff, and have seams as well. I'll probably put those in there, and seams on the edge, so it looks like a proper t-shirt, and then go back and maybe add a few more polygons in here, so that curve is a little bit better. Now once I've baked it, I could actually do that now, but I'm going to do it properly, so basically it looks as good as possible. So there's that. So with that though, I'm probably going to wrap it up for today's workshop. Basically, what did we do? We looked at trying to make a mannequin, crashing, and just writing that whole concept off. We looked at making a high polygon and a low polygon t-shirt, makeshift, and then we looked at baking that and putting it into the space. We also looked at light maps, so our dynamic objects, e.g. not static, are the correct lighting. So very, very useful in regards to trying to get the good lighting effect on a space. So we have that. Right, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you learned something or enjoyed it or any of the above. And have a good week and happy building. See you later.